everybody. Oh, okay. Hi.
Hello.
Hey, how is everybody doing?
Hello.
Hi, how is everybody doing? Hey.
Hi. Hey.
Oh.
Hey, look at that terrible graphic I put in the chat, dude. It's unreal.
Where?
In the general, I got sent that in my email.
Jesus Christ.
From my apartment.
That shit looks disgusting.
Looks like
foul, dog.
Oh my god.
That shit
I'd
looks
have sex with it.
No, you wouldn't,
like a
nigga.
Fab 5 layout.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't. Keep that low. Keep that on the low. Alright then, let me go ahead and do this introduction shit. What's good, everybody? Welcome to episode number 2 of the Royal Roundtable podcast. If you guys don't know, this is a podcast where basically I just bring my friends and we talk about various discussions along with other popular things that are going on that interest us. Obviously, there's going to be guest appearances, obviously, somewhere in the future. But for right now, we have 5 people, even on the layout it says 4 because somebody just came out of nowhere. So, Seff, say hi.
Hey.
He's not on the layout right now, but if he was, you guys would know. I will still link him in the description. Obviously, if you're watching this on YouTube, definitely check the descriptions for everybody that is involved, and also the Twitter link to the actual official Roundtable Twitter, and I guess everybody else's channels and Twitters. And if you guys are watching this on YouTube, hit the like button. This does go back to YouTube every time. It's every weekly podcast. Every Sunday at 5 p.m. EST. Try to keep that same schedule rolling. But if not, then, you know, it's totally fine. We'll try to do our best to make sure you guys get the best of that. So that's why I say follow the Twitter, because when you get step to date, everything like that. But, hi. How are you guys doing? How is everybody doing this week? Hopefully everybody had a great week. I had an amazing week. It was really great.
Wow, thank you, Nick. I appreciate that.
Okay.
I had a great week, bruh.
Back to school season.
Oh my God. Are you going to school?
No,
Okay. Yeah, Cole?
We really just gonna need you to fast travel to Starbucks like right now.
I'm gonna say, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing right now? Like, what are you doing, Cole? Oh yeah, Cole's on his phone, so you can't like really hear like the best of him.
Cole was out here struggling.
So it's totally. Actually, you know, it's really shout out to Cole, because Cole's like the reason this like these topics were chosen. If you guys don't know, the first topic is, I guess at this point, Sonic Mania, and then like it branches off into a whole different wider variety of conversations they will soon have. But since we've had only 2 of us has played Sonic Mania, we're gonna have a couple others, but unfortunately we're not able to make it. But Omari,
hello.
How did you like Sonic Mania so far? First impressions.
Amazing.
Did this shit glitch up on you like it did Nexus?
Yeah.
Did
like
it?
The attention to detail? Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry.
What do you mean only 2 of us? I'm playing it right now.
No, you're not.
Are you?
Are
You're
you?
an effing liar.
Are you really?
You're
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I didn't know that. I'm sorry. How do you like it then? I don't know. You've never like interest or shown interest in like classic Sonic games at all.
I've never heard you.
What?
Yeah,
I made Sonic 3. What are you talking about?
No, you did not, dog. Anyway,
what is wrong with
dog,
you?
I'm just, dog. What are you talking about? Are you okay?
No, because you completely stiffed me on my childhood.
No, you wanna know why, Mikey? Because your childhood was Mega Man.
While this may be true, Sonic played an integral part. Peep the word integral.
Wow.
I like that. That was nice.
Right.
Is that your word of the day?
Really? Thank you. Oh my God. Wait, Tails, did you take my shit? Okay, no, we good.
Okay.
Right,
Anyway, steal my phone though, Mike. You go ahead and tell us what you.
No. You go ahead, Omari. I actually have an expansive review on.
Oh,
Sonic
really?
Mania.
Okay,
Yeah.
Omari, how do you feel about it?
All right.
Give me your first impression, and then like your thoughts on everything. So like the game itself, how you like first felt like playing it, and then like the game for what it is, how it was made, and everything like that. Like, give me that.
Okay, so like first impression wise, like I really enjoyed how like the aesthetic, like it's a classic game. We haven't played a classic game like that style since Sonic 3 Knuckles, right?
Right.
And the fact that they basically gone all the way back to that time and just made it like almost a direct sequel is something that I love a lot, because Sonic 3 Knuckles was probably my favorite out of the trilogy. There's Sonic 1, Sonic 2, there's 3 and Knuckles, which are like collectively a game together.
Right.
And I love like the third one is my favorite, and the fact that they took that style specifically, because nowadays we have so much more capabilities graphically, and we have like much more freedom in terms of like sprites and what we can do with the models. And they took that and they just improved upon it, the attention to detail, and like they enhanced like older levels. They brought new stuff to older levels and newer levels. It's like a hybrid of like nostalgia and like new stuff that we haven't gone before, which is
it sucks because like I feel like off rip, like the whole classic Sonic thing should be nostalgia for itself, but my only gripe with the game is that, well, I'll probably elaborate on this, but a lot of them aren't new, you know.
How you mean?
Like let me just elaborate on it right now. Like there are about how many stages, like actual stages, not like zones, but like 8, 11 or something 13? Like that. 13. Only maybe about like maybe 4 or 5 of them are actually like new, while the other ones are classics that we've had. So it's kind of like how Sonic Generations is, where it's like a greatest hits of all the Sonic games, but like for this one it's a greatest hits of all the classic ones, and then with a mix of like maybe 2 or 3 newer ones, you know. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. I just feel like you know.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna actually stop you right there.
What?
Because like these levels are brand new.
No. Obviously,
like, pretty much all of them are brand new.
No.
They're like different takes on like the old levels though.
No. By all means, the different routes are there. But what I'm saying is like I would much rather, since I'm a new type of person. I feel like if I've played it multiple times, I've played it all at this point. Don't get me wrong, the different like routes you can take, even from the first Green Hill Zone stage, you know, it's a lot to take in at first, but then I feel like once you go through multiple times, it's like you realize that this game for what it is essentially a greatest hits collection. It's just it's the classic Sonic take on Sonic Generations, if you will. But it's a great game still in itself. I feel like the whole classic Sonic, just off rip, the whole 2D sprite pixelated shit should be enough nostalgia for what it is, and then just give us like a new stage, because you gotta look at all the new stages and how like beautiful they are. Like they look amazing, just artistic flavor. 60 FPS makes the game pop out. It's crazy. And I think honestly it sucks because this is a fan project, and I feel like Sega probably had like a really like Mikey's favorite word, integral part in that, where it's like, oh hey, you know, we're bringing back classic Sonic. We might be kind of too scared to bring back everything or bring back some newer shit, right? But then it's like we still want to like do this for the fans, because you go back and read interviews. There was actually an interview that was put out 2 days ago where it was like this game was supposed to be for the cult classic Sonic fans, right? And I feel like since it's 2017 and that era is gone, we're not like, you know, me and Omari, we're not 6-7 years old. Mikey's not going to be in his teenage years, you know. That decade, that genre of gaming has kind of like diminished, long overdue.
Yeah, we've moved
and
on,
it's like we moved on from it. I feel like I feel like at one point they were too scared to give you that brand new taste, you know, like give you everything new, you know, where it's like, okay, we're gonna feed off the nostalgia. We're gonna take this, give them like 3 or 4 older stages, just the greatest of all the 1 to 3, and then pop out some newer stages. And they only showed the newer stages too, which I liked, because the only old stages they brought back or they showed in the promotion for the games were Green Hill Zone, and then the rest were actually new zones. And my favorite zone has to be, I forgot the name of it already, but it's the one where you're like, it's the saloon. I forgot its name. I literally was just playing it. Yeah, Mirage Saloon was my favorite one. That music is amazing. That music is amazing.
It's fire. I love it.
That music is fire. And honestly, like I said, like it's crazy, because if you look at it, Sonic Mania is a classic Sonic game, but it's also, I guess, being lead developed by a fan. You know, the guy Chris Whitehead, he's the guy that went and basically remastered all the classic Sonic games for the mobile devices, and they're all 60 FPS. They all move. Yeah, it's on mobile. You can go download the original Sonic game. They're like the remastered fixed versions, how they were meant to be played.
Yeah, he redid Sonic CD.
Yeah, he did all of that, and it's like you look at that, and it's like, damn, look at Sega actually taking somebody who they could have shut down. You know, they have all legal rights to Sonic. They have all everything they need, licenses and everything to shut down that project, to shut him shit down, send a cease and desist order to him and be like, no, take this shit down. We don't want this. We don't want you. You know what I'm saying? We don't want you making this. No, we want to do this shit ourselves. But it's like Sega's fucked up so many times, I feel, and the community itself has expressed that enough, you know, that I feel like at some point Sega had no choice but to do so and get a fan and give him a team of well-known artists and everything like that, and producers and shit to be a part of that, you know. So it's like, I like the fact that Sonic Mania is essentially a glorified fan game, honestly, if you look at it like how it is, because it's his vision, his take on everything, and I will talk about the spoiler alert later, but I just feel like, back to the topic, I just feel like it could be a lot. I don't know. That's my only gripe, is that most of the shit's like, new, you know, like most of the shit's just not new to me. Because I've played the original games so much, but I can appreciate the games for what it is. I can appreciate the stages, all that, you know.
Effort to like, they did all the levels, but they took a little bit of effort to try and like redo them, like make them new, like have the little areas. Like Act 1 is more closer to the original, and then the new ones are more like Act 2 is more like their own take on that version of the level.
Yeah, like Act 2 is like the original part of the everything.
Like with the chemical plant, like they change up the music, they add like little gimmicks to the level and stuff like that. Like they did with the water, and like they made it like the little bouncy pads and stuff like that. I thought that was really cool.
The best thing they could have added to this game was the air dash. That shit is so dope. To where you hold the button and then you like do the dash right away. Yeah. Holy crap! But on to my extensive review. Okay. So as I'm playing it right now, I'm feeling everything that I felt from, you know, back in the Sonic 3 days, man. It's while it's fresh, while it's a new take on Sonic, the 2D, you know, ventures and whatnot, I feel everything that was, you know, down by the that was done by the original developers, just really just expanded upon, and like I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. It's so dope because like you seeing everything that happened, like with the when it starts off, you know, you've got, for the people who haven't played it yet, it starts off just like Sonic 3 does, where he's like fucking flying on the ship, and then something happens, and then you're in. It starts on Angel Island, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it starts on Angel Island, and then like you get transported to Emerald Hill Zone. Yeah, that shit is just the dopest shit to me. Right, they go back in time and shit, Chaos Control. Yeah. So it is dope. It's like they're bridging the two gaps between the 2D era and the new era. So, and like if you guys haven't heard that this one is supposed to be like a prequel to Forces. Yeah, if you guys, I don't know if you haven't played the game. Spoiler alert, everything that happens at the end is a prelude to Forces. It leads up. I'm not gonna tell you like what happens at the end, but it leads up to Forces, and if anything, it builds hype for Forces. But back to the, like, you know, we're not gonna get to Forces right now. No. We'll have that whole when it's out. But but actually, Outspoken in the chat actually reminded me about this. But it's funny how Sega is actually doing something right for once. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah, because like we can look at Sonic Mania for what it is. It's a glorified fan game. It's a way to appeal to the older, but then it's still able to be introduced to the newer guys, you know. But then let's go deeper into it. It's a fan game essentially. You know, Chris Whitehead, he redid all the old Sonic games, and like I said, Sega actually said fuck it, and let's pick this guy up. Let's put him on the team. Let's give him the necessities needed, and
let's use all his features, all his mechanics for his games, and put it into this one and see how they like it. And Sonic Mania, as of right now, is the highest rated Sonic game in the past 15 years.
Insane.
And that's
absolutely insane.
That says a lot.
Yeah.
Nintendo needs to take notes.
No, exactly, because that's where the next topic was actually gonna go. It is.
I feel like with Nintendo, the one thing that they fuck up on the most is the fact that they don't listen to their not only their fan base, they don't listen to their customers.
They don't.
And
they don't.
I put it mostly on the customers, because it's like, why would you continue to buy? Why would you continue to support something that you don't like?
Right.
And that's why, like, as a community, I feel like in the Nintendo community, or like just, I guess you can say, like, with older games like that, people feed into the continuity of the games more than they do into like anything else, and that's why they just take it.
Right.
There are
Pokemon, for example,
people follow like Nintendo
right
stuff just for what
like,
it is.
people
Just
take,
it's got Nintendo on the,
they take it for what it is. Yeah.
So you're saying like the blind fanboyism gets in the way of like
no.
There are. We trust us. We have a lot of friends that are Nintendo. So what you're saying is that blind fanboyism is like getting in the way of actually getting the great like games that we expect. Yeah,
it is.
Exactly.
Look at the Sonic fan base. Like, people who like the Sonic fan base like toxic, well, they're always complaining. But look at what that complaint got us. It forced Sega to actually listen to us and like take into consideration what it is that the fans.
And not only that, Sega was taking hits with Seff with that. Like, people were not trying to buy games that were not good, and even if they were buying games, they were getting poor reviews.
It's just funny because like they like, if you look at the past couple games they put out, Sonic Lost World flopped. What was Sonic Boom? Both of those games flopped. But the TV show is good, by the way. Go check that out.
Yeah, the TV show is actually funny.
It's actually funny.
But the games, we're talking about the games themselves, they flopped. What else came out? The Sonic the Hedgehog series, those stupid ass, like the Sonic the Hedgehog 4, the 4 episodes, those shits were flopped. They've been messing up so much that it's just crazy how, like, you look at Sega and you gotta think about it like this. It took us 15 years of complaining to actually get a good Sonic game for once, right? "Quote unquote" good Sonic game. But then but then like, you think about, like, imagine if let's say like, you know how fans of Sonic, they want like Sonic Adventure 3, right? They want the huge play as everybody on the team shit. Now imagine if Sega did it versus it ended up being how the fans wanted. Do you think we'd be disappointed in the finished product that Sega got? Or had they not actually asked us for input, had they not like try to go look for some criticism somewhere, would we be good, you know? Because you think it makes you think.
Like when you're taking the fans into consideration in anything, everything could be good. I mean, it would be better than, you know, just making something up and just giving it to us. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like it'll be dangerous doing that at the same time, because not everybody's going to be pleased with what Sega ultimately ends up choosing. Because you can't please everybody.
Right.
So
But that's honestly, I think that's where we look at, we look at games like the Sonic HD remasters that Chris did, or we look at even Pokemon games, the fan games or whatever, right? Those fan games are scripted with new features that we have yet to see or probably will never see in Pokemon games, right? And just off the strength of like us YouTubers and influencers and just word of mouth, you know, like spreading that shit on social media, it's like they get shut down for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like there's something about that game that people make them popular for, and it's like, okay, this game is fucking dope, I want to promote it. But obviously, since Nintendo or Game Freak doesn't want to, want any competition with they shit, they're like, fuck that, nah, get away from us. But then like I said, you look at like Insurgents, right? Yep. Pokemon has their own Delta species, right? But Insurgents is their own different take on the Delta species.
It's like a different perspective.
Yeah, it takes everything that you know about the Pokemon, either like inverts it, makes it opposite of what's supposed to be, or just goes out the box and it looks entirely different than it's supposed to be. It gives it like these weird types that you will never see in the actual game until like maybe 3 or 4 years from now. And it's like, oh shit, I like this game.
So Nick, let me ask you a question about Sonic Forces. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead.
What Insurgents did, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, what Insurgents did was it proposed the idea of different perspectives on Pokemon. We all know this. For those of us who played Insurgents, we all know this. We know the narrative of the with what Forces is doing with a created character. Would you say that it's the same principle, so to speak, with like this idealism of like you can sandbox your own story, although it may have a different take on what a character might look like or what a character might feel like or what they might play like? Or do you feel like it's, I guess you can say, like a gimmick, so to speak?
Nah,
because
I will always say this: created characters will sell any game that has them. They definitely are a gimmick, and I will tell you this though: it opens the room for replayability. It opens the door for different
clout.
The different, like, I don't want to say replayability is such a like a broad term, but just like personal, it's you basically take whatever the actual initial story is, whatever character you make, because you know every character that you make has a different play style depending on the animal that you choose for Forces. You know, even though in Insurgents, whether you're a male or a female, it doesn't really matter. You know, for this game specifically, it'd be like you go through the story, but it's your own custom created character. They all play differently. So I feel like replayability is a humongous factor, which is what I think that they're going for. I honestly think that if you put created characters in any game, it is going to 100% sell it because like especially the modern type of games, like we know Pokemon, come on dog, we know Dragon Ball, we know Sonic, we know these characters, already, but it's like we've also had a lot of like things in our head where it's like, what if we did this, what if we did that, what if there's a new character that can do this, what if there's that.
Xenoverse did really well with that.
So you look at that and you have these characters that you can make, and that's what essentially Xenoverse is, or that's what the new Naruto game is gonna be. That's what Sonic Forces is gonna be. As long as they have created characters, that gimmick alone will sell the game. That's how I feel it would do 100%.
There's already like a hell of a lot of people that already have like their own Sonic OCs, right? Like
exactly. Like everybody, I have one. I'm telling you, when I do my little playthrough, everybody gonna know that nigga's gonna be named is Rush. He's gonna be a hedgehog of red hair. He's gonna be living. I'm telling you, I already.
Sorry, Sonic noob here. Next game, what is it called?
Sonic Forces.
Forces. Okay, that's the one that they showed at like this summer, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that looked dope as shit.
Exactly. So it's like I feel like that gimmick by itself will definitely make Forces do good alone, just off that. But I feel like it goes back to the fans at one point.
What do you feel like if the game were to flop? What do you think?
I would feel like
the biggest gripes with the game.
If I'm being real with you, I don't think it's gonna flop. I don't.
No, I'm saying like hypothetically speaking,
if it flopped, it would have to be because of the people behind it. You know,
I don't think necessarily it's gonna flop. I feel like a lot of people have lost a lot of trust and faith in the modern Sonic games and say, yeah, what Sega put out recently, and
I feel like
they're gonna either like not buy it, or they're gonna pull like another Sonic 06 where they just like hate it like type of thing.
Because what you can do is like you were saying earlier with like the prelude being Sonic Mania. I mean, you can build off a game like that.
No. That's what me and Omari was talking about last night. It was like with Mania doing so good, and it basically being like no, not even that. With Mania being so good, right, and it being like a sequel to the original classic Sonic games, right? You have Forces, which is the modern thing, right? There is a humongous gap of story that you can build in between those games.
Because essentially it's like Sonic 3 Knuckles, and then we're jumping into like the adventure series. Like what happens in between that? Everything else in between that is like spin-off games and stuff like that. There's no like main story right there.
Exactly.
So, like, a bunch of
so they did so
stuff.
Sega. So what I'm saying is Sega messed up in the fact that there's no like actual story. You know, it's crazy because you look at this contender like Mario, right? Mario actually has a original story. It actually does. Turns out, like it turns out, it actually does. Sure, there's a lot of games in that series, but it actually has like an actual. There's a timeline.
Yeah, there's 3 continuities.
Yeah, and it's like you look at Sonic. Oh shit! I'm sorry. Hold on. Wait. Jesus Christ! You look at Sonic, and it's like you have the original classic games, you have the modern games, then you have That's really it. One of the modern Sonic games never happened to begin with, and so that leaves plenty more plot holes in the story itself. So it's like there's no actual world building in Sonic.
Boom?
No. 06 never happened.
Oh, I thought you were saying like.
Oh no, we're not talking Boom. Look, Sonic Boom's a whole different
Boom
thing.
doesn't exist. Boom
What about 2000?
Which one was that?
That's the one that was on the Xbox. My friend.
That's 06. That's 06. That's 06.
Oh, Sonic 06.
It's not hard to break that
one.
It's just
The story in that game.
confidential.
The story in that game never happened. Which is what I'm saying. It's like you have these plot holes. You have these crazy just random ass spikes in like characters. You know, like at one point, if you didn't read or like you didn't, you know, if you wasn't like a Sonic guy. You know what I'm saying? You would never know where the fuck Rouge came from. You know what I'm saying? She came from the comics, but you would never know that if you weren't like really in it. There is no Sonic actual timeline. Versus Mario, there is. Crash Bandicoot, there is. Spyro, there is. And the only reason why I'm bringing those guys up is because Sonic the Hedgehog in the 90s was a legend back in the day. But all of those games, all of its other rivals, they had a plot to go by. They had something to build on. Exactly. So it's like you have Sonic, you go from 1 to 3, and then it's like, okay, here's a lot of spin-offs, here's a lot of remasters. Okay, cool. Here's Adventure. Okay, what the fuck happened between these things? We know about Omega. Who the fuck is Big the Cat? Then you have 2. Why the hell is Big still glitched up in this motherfucking game? Who the hell is Rouge? Okay, Shadows. We still, bro. Shadow itself. No. Shadow itself is the perfect example of plot hole after plot hole. I want you to know when he first got announced, dog. Nobody knew what the fuck he was. He's like, oh, he's a hedgehog from 50 years ago, created by Dr. Eggman's thing, but they never actually show anything like of that event. They never did anything, right? That's when Shadow the Hedgehog came out. They elaborated on the story of it, and it's like, okay, there you go. Now we know more about Shadow. But if we have more character development like Shadows, it's like, okay, then we could have like a conversation on story, you know? But it's just not the case. Not the case at all. But back to what we were talking about, I feel like in terms of where are we at? We were at, I feel like in terms of the fandom, I feel like if companies ever decide to come and embrace like the fandom, take like little elements out of these fan games, take like little ideas or whatever, if they're gonna do that, make it to where it's like social media. You know, social media nowadays is a popular tool for everybody. Let's do like a poll. When was the last time a gaming company did a poll? Besides Bandai, you know? I'm telling you, that whole poll wave where they actually asked for game like criticism was like, that shit hasn't happened in a decade, honestly, because back in the early 2000s they would do so by giving you those magazines, those like weekly magazines. You can submit like all your things and everything like that. You would do that, you ship it back to them, and they would actually take that and put it into like games, or at least like an Easter egg or something, you know?
And
like
it's very easy to do that nowadays with how popular the internet is.
Exactly.
Everybody has the internet.
But at the same time, you have to understand who your customers are, because
facts.
People nowadays, they don't pay attention like that. They want quick and fast product. they, as soon as they hear about something coming out, they want it now. So companies are looking at it like, okay, they want the game now. What we can do is feed you a bunch of beta.
Now my question to you is it the customer's fault for not knowing their audience, or is it the customer's fault for not expressing what they want as an audience, or is it the company's fault about not even trying? Because there's a lot of companies that don't even try; they just give you a game, and there you go.
It falls more. It's like a seesaw. It's like a seesaw, but it falls more so on a company, because as a company, you want to sell. You want to not only sell, but you want to deliver a product that people are going to remember. If you look at Mario, time and time again, Nintendo comes out with another Mario game, and that shit blows, right?
Right.
They sell consoles with those games. Look at Pokemon. You said it. Pokemon sells consoles. Pokemon saved Nintendo.
I don't care what anybody says. I will pull up facts, by the way. Pokemon X and Y saved Nintendo during the Wii U crisis. Don't add me.
It falls more so on in knowing exactly like what their fan base is and understanding what their games have done for generations.
Wait.
Okay. I was gonna say, like, I feel like it's a bit difficult, because games like those, like Pokemon, like Sonic, these games all came out in the 90s when we were kids, right? And as like these games have been so popular, they've been able to like continue and grow into like a huge franchise. Whereas now,
it doesn't matter if it's bad or not.
Exactly.
But like,
still
and those games are targeted towards like primarily kids. So it's like
that's what brings me back to the people who they go out and they buy games because of like the nostalgia factor.
Yeah.
Like they don't.
That's why remakes are like booming these days. Like everywhere you see it's like remake here, remaster there.
Right.
You can sell a game based on its continuity. Look at Treyarch, for example, Sledgehammer, for example, the Call of Duty series.
Right.
With how the mechanics of the game work, people buy that game for that reason. I remember at a point in time where Black Ops was starting to die off, and everybody was talking about how the next game wasn't really going to have quick scoping like that, and like the mechanics, like the continuity of the mechanics sold that game. It drove the game. So Treyarch knew exactly what their fan base was looking for, and they went based off of that.
Now,
or we can look at
wait.
Watch. Paid attention.
Watch this. And this is where I come in, because I am I want to say an influencer. I fight you. I want to say influencer, right? And with me being an influencer, right, it's like word of mouth, right?
Right.
And I feel like you said, there's the seesaw, where it's the audience and there's the company, right? Yeah. But I feel like the influencers are the seesaw themselves. I feel like
you think so?
I feel like it should be the audiences and the companies' like due diligence to talk to these people that have influence, that aren't just being paid to do shit, to say stuff like that. Because it's one thing to be like, okay, look, you have 100,000 people, we're gonna pay you so and so just to talk good about our game, right? But it's another thing to have somebody be the poster child for the actual community shit. It's like, okay, look, here you go. Here's what we have. Here's what we think we want to do in the game. Let us know. Put like a little poll, or like or like ask the questions and like have a video out there where it's like, yo, what do you guys want in these games? There's been plenty of videos. You can go on YouTube right now where it's like top 5 expectations, or top 10 wants, or shit like that, right? And you can go into the and that video by itself could be used as a catalyst for companies to go back and look and see what people really want. That's why I'm saying influencers like YouTubers and game reviewers, if they're not being paid for it, giving your honest review could be a good thing or a bad thing. A bad thing for the company, but a good thing for the people to get what they want. Because if the people are more vocal, right, the company, instead of being bombarded by millions of people, right, have these audiences and these different other influencers come together. Let's go talk to the big guy. Okay, look, you get like maybe 5 influencers. Each influencers have like maybe like 100,000 people, so and so on Twitter, so and so on so and so, and then it's like, okay, whatever feedback you want, whatever whatever little small features. Let's come together as a group of 5 influencers, see what really works in the game, see what can be possibly done, everything like that. Run those ideas to the big people at the company. That's where I feel like the influencers come in. The influencers and the media itself, right? The people that aren't getting paid, they're the seesaw between the company and the audience. Because at some point, you know when shit's fake. It's one of those things where it's like, you know when somebody's getting paid. If you buy a game, right, that you heard somebody gas up, right? They're big as hell. They know the company, right? But you play the game, and a lot of your other friends, or you see a group of motherfuckers saying, "Oh, this game is bad. Fuck this game," right? Then you know good and that person that was like basically fanboying and overhyping and gassing that game doesn't talk about it until after the game's out. He got his check and he's gone now. You know that he was paid for that, right? But it's like you look at people like, for example, Rhyme Style on YouTube, Dragon Ball Z YouTuber. He's a close connection with Bandai Namco, right? He has a community of 500,000 people that are willing to actively give their criticism of every single game that has come out, and he is actually willing to go to Bandai. He doesn't get paid for this shit, mind you. Willing to go to Bandai and actually give them ideas from the community. So it's like you look at the company and the audience, but then we got to talk about the middle guys, you know, like the influencers, the media themselves, the reviewers, media is a humongous part of it. I'm telling you, media is humongous in it.
And most media, contrary to belief, it's moving more towards the internet nowadays, with television sort of dying out and Netflix, it's on the rise.
I feel like nowadays, to second Seff on that, because I absolutely agree with
it.
That.
It's true.
I feel like it's 100%. Because really think about the last time you watched TV other than watching a show that you really want. Like, if it's not walking,
I don't watch TV.
But that's the point. TV. That's the point I'm trying to make. Nobody's really like buying into like TV like that. So I feel like most of the media that we do see is 100% on the internet, because we have outlets like Twitter, we have outlets like Facebook, we have outlets like
YouTube.
Even if you want to go to like if you want to go to like some sort of like news or forum, like you have Reddit as a thing, 4chan's a thing. What's the name of that website? Like Verge, I want to say.
Reddit.
Verge, Verge is a thing. Like you have like actual like GameSpot is a thing. So like people are getting their media, people are getting their news, their drama, whatever it may be, on the internet. Right. So I absolutely agree.
And look at Vice. Vice started on the internet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now Viceland's a thing.
So my thing is, it's like if anything, what Seff said and what you're agreeing on further, like it further drives my point where it's like there has to be a middle ground between this. You know, there has to be a middle ground between the companies and the actual audience. So at some point, I can see both being like at fault here, where it's like, oh, if you guys aren't vocal about what you guys don't like, then how are we supposed to know, right? But then if you're not trying to listen, then why should we talk, right? But then, like I said, that's where the media comes in. That's where forum posts and YouTube videos and just even Twitter. Off Twitter alone, you know how many you know how much a message of retweets can send to some people?
Yeah.
So it's like like I said, there has to be a middle ground. There has to be a middle ground. So we can't look at, we look at the company, we look at the audience. There has to be a middle ground. So I think the media is the seesaw. That's what I think it is.
Let's take it even further than that. Just to I guess if we're gonna jump down a rabbit hole here, let's take it a little bit deeper than that. How about a community as a whole? Because if people are speaking in larger groups of companies, won't have a choice but to pay attention. Because if you as an influencer, right, Nick, you go out and you say, hypothetically speaking, Sonic Forces was garbage. Here's why I feel like it was garbage. Could have done better. Please allow me, you guys, and you guys tell me your opinions about what you didn't like, what you did like, what you different. Why not moving like rather than just himself? Because you can speak for a lot of people, yes, but your voice may not be heard on the same level as like imagine it being like you're in a room full of people, and you get that, you rally all those people together, and all of you are chanting, "We want better games." It'll make more of an impact if all of you are saying it together than just one person. Because me being a CEO at like Sega, I hear that you're talking, but I'm just like, I really don't care about what you're saying, because this game is making me money. It may not be making me the most amount of money, but it's making me something. So what you're saying to me is invalid. Right. So you're not wrong. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm saying, like, why not take it a step further and say, as a whole, need to request better games. But at the end of it, I feel I haven't played, but from what you and Omari are saying, from what Mikey's saying about playing it now, and looking at the sales, Sonic Mania is booming right now. My question is, how is Sega gonna
grow?
Gonna go from there.
Yeah, how are they gonna learn from that?
I have a good question. I have a good answer for you, actually. Take Mania and use it as a turning point to essentially reboot everything.
Sonic does
about this last night, yeah.
Sonic absolutely
because the only time we've gotten an actual reboot was through the voice actors, right?
Yeah.
And like I said, you look at Sonic 1 and Sonic 1 2 Mania, those are actually like sequels in that entire genre. But then we look at games like Modern Sonic, there's a humongous asshole in between there, right? So instead of remaking those old games, why not make games to basically fill in those plot holes? Give these characters personalities, remaster the gameplay, make sure the Sonic, if they're gonna do like a whole actual series for this shit, make sure each game has some different type of gimmick, but make sure the gameplay is one refined. Take Sonic Mania, make it better. Take the boost system, make it better. Take the 2D sections out of the modern sections. Take that off. Cause it's dumb. You have these modern 3D Sonic games, and most of them are predominantly through 2D. Sonic Generations, Sonic Colors, and Lost World were mostly 2D on the side, and it was all because they were trying to push that stupid whiff shit. It's stupid as fuck. Sonic Unleashed is the closest thing we'll ever get to an actual 3D Sonic game. Yeah, and that's what sucks, because that's everybody's least favorite Sonic game.
Well, let's talk about narratives.
Right.
Play alone will sell a Sonic game, because me, for one, I'm the type of Sonic fan where I like to get immersed into the gameplay, yes, because I do like to feel like I'm moving fast, but I also get into the story, because if you look at Sonic Heroes, that was like probably best written stories in a Sonic game, in my opinion.
Right. No, so, like, I don't. Shit, you're right, 100%. I'm gonna hit that with you.
I feel like the narrative will like drive the game in sales the most, because if you propose like a new character, like what Sonic Riders did,
watch this.
Propose like new characters, it's like,
watch this. Bring these new characters in and keep them, because watch this. We haven't had a static Sonic villain ever since
Mephiles.
No, Mephiles never happened. You can't count that. We haven't had a static Sonic villain since Chaos. Right. And that was Sonic Adventure 1. Honestly, that was Sonic Adventure 1. But come on now. Sonic Adventure 1 is Chaos. Sonic Adventure 2, Shadow turned into a good guy. Sonic Heroes, we all know Metal Sonic. Shadow the Hedgehog, Black Doom, he is here today, gone tomorrow. Mephiles, he was here today, gone tomorrow. The Time Eater shit from Generations, gone. The fucking Colors, the Wisp, they were here. They're here, but they're like a gimmick now, just to make shit easier to use.
I don't know what's going on with that.
So add these new characters and basically build a world of them. Make sure that whatever you're trying to keep, cause like look at Mario, right? Play Mario Party. How many characters can you play in Mario Party? How many of those characters are in every single game? Not a lot of them. But how much do you know about every single one of those characters? A lot.
You know a lot about those characters.
Exactly. Look, exactly. They build on all of those characters. Nigga, even Waluigi has a fan base. And he hasn't been in a game since hasn't been in a game since fucking what Mario Party was that?
I can't remember for the life.
What Mario Party was that? Somebody put that in the chat.
10, right?
I think it has to be like.
He's only in Mario Party. He's only in Mario Party. But then you look at Wario. Wario has at least about 3 games on the GameCube right now.
Yeah, it's got like WarioWare, that stuff that.
Luigi has about like 4 or 5 of them Johns. Daisy, Peach, every Toad, every last one of the Bowser Koopa. Like, you have these characters that they have built upon over the past 20, 30 years that they've been out, and it's like, okay, you know these characters. You may not know a lot about them, but you know of them. So instead of,
because they keep coming back.
So instead of you making these one-time villains, these one-time instances, take these characters like from the comics or like from these old ass games. In Sonic Mania, nigga, literally watch this. Sonic Mania, they have 3 characters: Bean, Fang, and Bark. These characters have not been seen since Sonic Fighters in the 1990s, right? They are in a game in 2017 from a fan game, nigga. Keep them around,
please.
So that's what I'm saying. You look at you have these new characters, you have these old characters that you have not even decided to bring back. Keep them.
It's not even just like old characters like Fang and Bean. Like, even nowadays, I can go around and I'll show people like Vector from Team Chaotix, right? And they'll be like, "Who's this guy? Where's he from?" Nobody knows who they are, even though he's been in he was in Sonic Heroes. Obviously, they had their own team, and they had like a little cameo
in the Chaotix game.
Yeah, nobody knows the Chaotix game. I can tell you, like, if I ask somebody, it would be like, "Oh, have you played Knuckles Chaotix?" They'll have no idea what that game is.
And you know, this goes back to the whole purpose of this conversation. It's funny because Mania is a glorified fan game, and there's a lot of fan games that essentially fix the plot holes that the company puts out for these games. But you look at. Are you good? Jesus Christ! But you look at Pokemon, for example. I can name about 3 or 4 fan games right now that have been taken down by Nintendo, that have either had some fire ass mechanics, had brought more light and more personality to any one of these whack ass characters they introduced or tried to introduce for these one-off gimmicks or whatever. Nigga, bro, there's literally a story that gives Professor Oak and Agatha a whole entire background before Fire Red Leaf Green even happens.
And there's a lot that goes through them.
But you know what? There's a cease and desist on that, nigga. They changed that entire thing down. So it's like, instead of shutting down these fan games that like are trying to add some type of continuity, trying to add something new and fresh to these games that you have done such a poor job in terms of quality, not sales, why not embrace them?
Embrace them.
Embrace it.
Like,
they're not making. They're doing it
as fans of the games. They're not making money for it. They do it because they love the series that you gave us, and we want to expand upon the world.
But the thing is, like I said before, like, it's because not a lot of people are speaking at the same time.
Exactly.
Only bits and pieces of people are speaking, and not only that, it falls back on the customers too. Like, it falls back on the fans because they're the ones screaming, "We hate these games," yet they're buying.
Exactly.
So like,
so there has to be like a meeting. There has to be a meeting ground, honestly.
To be honest, yeah.
There has to be a meeting ground, man. There has to be. And it just goes back to the entire purpose of this conversation. It's like, just embrace it, you know? For me, my only gripe, I just hate when there's games like, for what I play a lot of Pokemon games, or like even Mario games have gotten a cease and desist. There's a Star Fox and a Metroid game that got a cease and desist a couple months ago. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, these are fan favorites. These are like games that they haven't touched in years. Nigga, they haven't. No. Earthbound, nigga. There is a there is a fan-made Earthbound game. They shut that shit down, but we're still not getting the other one that didn't come out.
Yeah, we're never getting.
There's a fan Metroid game that is really good. They shut that shit down
because there's a 3DS version coming out, which actually looks horrible.
Oh no! The 3DS version looks like shit, by the way. But we haven't seen any gameplay on the Switch version. We'll keep that up to date. I actually want to stay up on. I'm definitely staying up on that.
Yeah, I definitely am on that.
I'm definitely on that 100%. And then you have like and I mean, I feel like maybe they're shutting them down just to I guess let people know that they're not done with that, you know? Cause it's like, I feel like you can make a fan game, and it's up to the company to not give a fuck about them, right? But it's like, oh hey, we were gonna do something with this shit. We might need you to like shut this shit down. So we got something like in store for this specific IP or some shit.
In the works for that.
Yeah, because I promise you, because not even a couple months after they shut down the Metroid game, deadass at E3 they announced 2 Metroid games.
Exactly.
So it's like so maybe they're building up towards something. But if anything, instead of shutting them down, why not embrace them? Is all I'm asking. Because you can take, let's do. You can take, let's say, whatever feature, whatever aesthetic, whatever newer character that fan game might have introduced, and give that nigga a job or some shit. Put some bread, put some bread in these niggas' pot for real. Cause it's like you look at these fan games and they take like maybe 2 or 3 years to make, some even 6 to 7, right? And it's all for free. It's all for the love of the game, right? And for you to come and shut it down, it's like, oh hey, we understand we appreciate the fans, we appreciate you for what you did, but unfortunately you gotta go. But it's like, yo, instead of doing that, put some money in these niggas' pockets. Put some, like, cause it takes a genius to take something else that somebody made and make it better.
Right. You could even take these games like under their wing and be like, okay, like come help us work on something like this. Like we like what you're working with here. Like
yeah, like I'm gonna say, like, yo, come to the office, we'll fly you out, all that shit. Show us what this game is. Bring all your files, all that. Run that. We sit down, have a whole business call, and it's like, okay, cool.
You know who do well at that? You know who does well at that?
Who?
Ironically,
Who?
EA.
Oh, you're right. EA does it. EA does it. They do it.
With what? 'Cause I don't follow EA.
They do it with their sport games.
Yeah, a lot of their sport games
with
Yeah, a lot of their sport games are criticism heavy. Especially, shout out to Chris Move, by the way, top 5 YouTubers in this entire platform. He is one of the most craziest influencers in terms of gaming. I promise you. He has influence and he has a lot of say-so and a lot of the shit that goes on in sports gaming. Real talk, they go to him for a lot of that shit. For a lot of the fan shit, they go to him. Okay. So they out there listening to a lot of the shit that everybody's saying. They even fly YouTubers out to talk in offices and all that, make videos and all this shit. They give them like exclusive information to put out to get feedback and all that. They're doing a good job.
They sit them down. They sit them down and let them play the game. They give them like free shit. I know for like 2K, what they did was they had custom Jordans made for like all of the YouTubers that they brought out, and they let them like play like a snippet of the My Story, so that they can like post it to their channels, and then they flew them back home.
Yeah. So it's like you see these companies, because what makes me mad is that it's stupid that there are examples of companies that do both. You know, they either shut them down or they embrace them. You know, and it's like we can bring these up, we can bring these names up, and it's like, all right, yeah. It kind of sucks how even though you're doing better, and I feel like them doing better, like Ko said, is like a very humongous part of it. You know, because it's like they just do good. They do good. You know, Nintendo, anything Nintendo puts out, minus the Wii U, fuck that console, was a success. Was a success.
Right, yeah.
It was.
Do you consider the Wii a success?
Yes.
The Wii, most definitely.
Yes.
That's their biggest success.
The Wii, yes. Oh, wait a minute. Wait.
Early Wii.
Okay, I'm waiting.
Before they got like
the Wii and
Galaxy
in 2006 when they dropped, they were sold out literally everywhere I went.
Honestly, real talk, yeah. Hey, thank you so much, F, for the resubscription. I think Omari might be right. I think the Wii is their biggest W in terms of gaming. Now they have they have a lot of mascots. Nintendo has the 3DS does way better.
No, yeah, I was about to say the DS, the 3D, every handheld console does way better than any of their other shit.
No, but are you really about to? But no. But are you really about to like bring up handhelds in terms of like actual consoles?
No. That was just well, you did say in general.
Yeah,
well,
in general, I did.
You said their best-selling console.
Yeah.
So yeah, that shouldn't be.
So mine is.
I'm go ahead and head out because I gotta get back to work. But,
all right, Brody.
I'll try to come to. But yeah, like this is a good conversation. I'm gonna play. If you guys want to talk about it next week, I can just elaborate on like how I feel about the game. But ultimately, how I feel about what these companies should definitely do.
He's lagging.
He's lagging hard.
He's lagging hard. Damn it, Cole.
Yeah, sorry. It's
okay. Jesus Christ. But nah. But in terms of like, it sucks. It really does suck. I wanted to hear what he was gonna say. But if you want to count, if we're taking away the handhelds in terms of consoles, I think that was their biggest W, was the Wii.
And I think that's where they went a little bit wrong in the next generation, because they were riding so hard over the
They tried to capitalize off the Wii.
Right. So they went Wii to Wii U, DS to 3DS. Like they didn't change the name, and that's where a lot of people got confused. That's where it flopped a lot of the times, and that's where like that's really why if it wasn't for Pokemon, I think both systems would have been a flop as a whole.
Oh, I feel like they waited too long to release another console after the Wii.
A little bit, yeah, I can
see it.
No, it was a long time. 2000.
It was a long little break.
Yeah, it was 6 years because they kept. Well, I know with the DS, they just kept upgrading. They went from the fat DS to DS Lite to DSi,
way too many
DSi XL. There was too many of them.
That's crazy.
I'll let you know, I'm playing the what the fuck is this game? The another Metroid remake. And this game is just fucking awesome.
Really crazy.
Yes.
Too bad it's about to get a cease and desist.
I mean, it's already gotten a cease and desist.
Oh, really?
I mean, you can find it anywhere online. You can literally just Google search and there's a download.
Shout out to the bootleggers everywhere. But I think that is going to be it for this conversation. If you guys don't know, every single time towards the end of the actual podcast, we take chat questions and also comment suggestions. So if you're watching this on YouTube, definitely be sure to put some suggestions in the comment section below. But if you're in the live Twitch chat, give us some questions. Each of us will answer it and or pick out questions that we want to ask, and then that was gonna be it for this one. This one was a really good one actually. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
This one was really dope. Really good little conversation.
That was a good conversation.
Yeah.
I like where Cole's head at, honestly. Somebody said Pokken saved the Wii U. No, it did not.
No, oh my god, no, it didn't.
Smash.
No, it did not. Smash definitely
Nintendo,
did.
it could have saved the Wii U, but Nintendo dropped the ball on that shit. Too.
No, they did a better job at promoting Splatoon and Smash than they did
Splatoon, Mario Kart 8, and
which is sad.
What did I just say?
That's so sad.
They helped carry the Wii U. But it was mainly Smash with all like the esports and the tournaments and stuff like that. The competitive scene is what saved it, honestly.
Hopefully Pokemon will do a lot better on the Switch though.
Alright, someone has the question, Microsoft lawsuits on the Joy-Con designs. Any thoughts?
Never heard of it.
Wait, no, because Microsoft had a conference or had a live thing actually today, and this must be new actually. What are their what's the basis on that? I definitely want to like read into that definitely, because you can't. How you gonna sue somebody over a fucking Joy-Con stick?
Oh no, I'm just gonna Google search.
Yeah, Google search that shit. I'm actually like interested in that because there's a lawsuit on the Switch Joy-Cons. How so?
Okay, because it was a detachable controller.
Really?
Yeah. Wait, hold on. But what controller did the fuck? Oh, it was the wiki pad?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
Exactly. Nobody knows what the fucking wiki pad is.
Okay, my thoughts. That's
dumb.
That's dumb.
That's dumb.
They're irrelevant.
That's stupid as fuck. That's so dumb. How long do you think Nintendo will last? They're gonna last forever, honestly.
They're a staple in the gaming industry.
Exactly. If they would have kept going down the road with the Wii U, a couple years from then we could have this conversation. But the Switch definitely came through, The last little bit of the games for the Wii U definitely came through. You know,
I like the concept of the Switch. I really like the concept of the Switch.
They're still going to be here. They're going to be here for a long time. Long time.
Sure. No, but I don't think they're winning the case either.
They're not winning that fucking whack ass case. Come on, dog.
Microsoft.
A design, dog? Over a design? Really?
It's Microsoft.
That's it? Like, come on.
Right, Microsoft doesn't win anything anymore.
They just trying to get a bag, man. That's all they care about.
They really just need to stop.
All they gotta do is dish out a couple of million or good. That's nothing. That's like Bill Gates shits that in the morning.
Okay, just listen to this. Their next console is called the Xbox One X. Can we not? Can we not though?
Yeah, that's kind of copying. I wonder what console did that before them.
Right.
I'm saying pop a lawsuit on that. What did it say? The Switch is too early to judge still, right? Yeah, it's still mad early. Give it
very early.
I don't think so.
Why not?
Mario Odyssey, dog. It's got it in the bank.
No, I don't.
No, you don't think so?
Nah. No.
Mario Odyssey.
No. Watch this. Because Nintendo is really good for a lot of like niche things. You know, all their niche fan bases obviously will come and show out for those games. I feel that next year is going to be a good spot to judge it because that's when all those third-party games start coming out. Because Nintendo can supply. Nintendo's we're not discounting Nintendo's involvement in any one of their game consoles. They come with the games, right? But in terms of them coming with the games, how many of those games have you actually bought for the Switch right now? Have you bought Breath of the Wild, right?
See, I bought Breath of the Wild. Hold on, I can actually pull up the little thing right here. Hold on, I got Sonic Mania, Mighty Gunvolt Burst, Shovel Knight, Bomberman, Breath of the Wild, and bought a bunch of Neo Geo games, Blaster Master, and this little game called Kamiko.
Now watch this. Out of those are like I want to say maybe 7-8 games you just named off, 10 probably. Only about, besides Breath of the Wild and Mania, have gotten anywhere near as close as publicity or a promotion as anything else they've done.
Right.
Nintendo promotes the whack shit that people don't even bother with, right? Mario Odyssey's gonna sell because it's Mario. Sonic Forces is gonna sell because everything's Sonic. But you have to think about it. Nobody really bought. Nigga, it took 2 months for Splatoon to reach 1 million. That's their newest IP in the past 10 years, dog.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, they're promoting the shit that people don't really fuck with, right? So it's like, that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of niche shit. So unless you I give it like another year. I give it another year when other third-party releases come in, and we can actually talk about like it being a casual thing instead of just being a Nintendo. Because you gotta think about it. Nintendo's are there for a reason. That's only because Nintendo only puts out games for their audiences. So right. it's like you can go to play a PS4. There's a game for every genre, right?
Yeah.
But then you go look at Nintendo. They have different genre of gamings, but it's so gimmicky and it's so niche that not everybody can fuck with it. You know. So give it like a year when more of the games start rolling in, when more of the publicity and promotion starts going in. I still think it's mad early. I think it's early as fuck.
The console's only been out
for a couple months. Yeah.
Well, okay. I'll give you that, but for it to be out so early and doing semi good, because the Wii U, let's be honest, the Wii U didn't do good until never.
Exactly.
Until Smash came out.
Oh,
so
no.
Actually, mine was a Smash machine.
Breath of the Wild come out like that.
But I want you to know for Breath of the Wild, for Breath of the Wild, and for it to be a Zelda game of all things, and for it to do so good to actually sell a console, really good on Nintendo's part, really good on Zelda's end, especially the people that work over there. That is really good. That is really good because Nintendo, because Zelda, and this is where I guess one of the questions from Tuzzboy actually comes to play. He's like, he asked, do you guys think Zelda is less popular than Nintendo's other mascot? Zelda actually is their top 3. They're top 3.
One of their biggest.
Well, I think he's like the second biggest. It's like Mario, Zelda,
it's like
Mario, Zelda, and then
Pokemon.
Pikachu.
Pokemon, yeah, Pikachu.
Those are it's top 3. Zelda's nowhere near less popular. It's very niche though.
Link rather. We're talking Link.
Yeah.
Instead of the Princess Zelda.
But it's very niche though. Like it's very niche. Your top 3 is very niche. I'd say it's niche. Not everybody can play a Zelda game. It's weird. Because come on, yo.
Not everybody's into puzzle games like that.
Exactly. So it's like so Zelda being a top 3. Well, I mean at this point, with Zelda, Mario, and Pokemon being the only ones they're even fucking paying attention, because we still haven't gotten any news on that Pikmin game that's coming out soon. We still haven't gotten. Well, we got a new Metroid game. People are still waiting for a new F-Zero. Shit, come on. There's a lot of we got a new mobile Animal Crossing, but we're still waiting on the Switch version for that. Yeah. We got a new Fire Emblem coming out, so I mean they're doing a very good job at, I want to say, bringing a lot of the fan favorite shit back. But we gotta wait till those games come out.
Like that's actually thanks to the Smash Bros series, because Smash Bros is like the game is literally an advertisement for that series. Like,
name another good franchise Nintendo that they care about. Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem sells. Fire Emblem sells. And Kirby. We have a new Kirby game. We have a new Kirby game coming out. Cop that. 100% cop that. I don't know how I forgot about Kirby. I don't know how I forgot about Kirby.
If you really think about it, there has not been one Kirby game that ever flopped.
It's a fact. It's a fact.
Nope. Not one bad Kirby game.
It's a fact. Let me see what else.
Except all of them.
And if you've never played a Kirby game, you're doing yourself a great disservice.
Yeah.
I played one on the Game Boy Advanced. I think it was like the first one on the Game Boy Advanced. It was very good. It was addicting as shit.
It was.
Yeah, it is.
The Magic Mirror?
Smash Stars.
I think it was, yeah.
Was it Smash Stars
I just remember the chef dude in the...
To go back to Sonic, what do you guys think the fans want out of Sonic going forward? Just good gameplay.
They just want good gameplay. You know what I think
a lot of the
worst thing about Sonic is? Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead.
What?
The worst thing about Sonic is Sonic is too fast for his own good. If you really want to think about the gameplay aspect of things, why Sonic Boom failed, why Sonic 06 failed, because he was too fast for his own good.
No, those games failed because they were slow.
Sonic Boom, he was slow as hell.
They were slow in that one.
No, what I'm saying is, like, the way that, well, the development was fast. I want to say that.
Rushed? You mean rushed?
So,
right, yeah,
hell yeah.
Rushed, yeah.
But, like, for frames to catch up with hitboxes, sometimes, like, if something is going the velocity of so-and-so, those hitboxes and, what do you call, clipping, you can't, like, catch up. That's why you fall through the world all the time. So... I don't know. I guess with technology today, hopefully they can catch that shit up and make sure that Sonic Forces doesn't have that bullshit.
Right.
Yeah.
And also just keep Tails and his fucking flying things out of the game.
I think my take on Sonic would be to since Classic Sonic is a guaranteed already gonna sell at this point, especially with Mania proving that statement. For modern Sonic, they need to fix the boost formula. What Mikey's talking about is essentially the boost formula.
Yeah, the boost formula.
In Sonic Unleashed, you can barely control that nigga. He was going way too fast. In Sonic Colors, it was literally just the day stages, so it was the same controls and everything. And in Sonic Generations, they tried it. It was so crazy because if you play those two games, you see the difference. They tried it. They tried to catch it. They couldn't do it. And if they could find a way to fix the Sonic for the boost formula, I think they have a good 3D Sonic game. If they keep Sonic 3D, don't never touch 2D. I hate that so much. Keep 2D Sonic with Classic. Just keep that. Please do that. Because it's like the whole point of 3D is to be fast. Look at the world, look at the stages, the music, you getting all wrapped up into the world. Just be fast as you can. Make sure you pressing that boost, But it's like
What? Were most of the Sonic games on PlayStation 2 60 frames too? Like they're like some of the first 60 frame games because like it was supposed to look smooth like while you're going that fast.
I think that was No. This was
I thought they were like
this was
60 frames really early. Like.
No. This was Sonic Unleashed. You're talking about Sonic Unleashed for the PS3. That was the PS3. That was one of the first. That was one of the first 60 FPS ones.
Okay.
So when it comes to Sonic, if they can fix the boost formula, build up on the world around Sonic, make an actual storyline, I feel like you'd be fine. In terms of like what people want, I feel like the fans themselves are conflicted between the 2D and the 3D. Honestly, just make a game for both.
If we're being completely honest about, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. I wanted to say, like, I can't speak for like what all the fans want, but I know, like, I myself as a fan of Sonic, what I want is that I just want a story that we can get invested in, because these days the Sonic games are like really fast. You could finish a game in literally like 7 hours. You could just breeze through it and that's it. It's gone. There's no like after story. There's no like deeper lore. It's just, all right, get the 7 Chaos Emeralds. Here's Eggman final boss. Defeat him. That's it. Game over. There's no hidden agenda. There's no like extra thing, and that's what I think people really loved about the Adventure series and like Sonic Heroes, where it's like it wasn't about Eggman. It was like there was something else hidden underneath it. Like there was more to it. There was
like,
more
this nigga's grandpa has been plotting the destruction of the world since he created Shadow and shit. Like, oh wait, what?
Yeah,
that's just crazy.
Like, in Sonic Heroes, where it's like Eggman it wasn't him at all. He was trapped in his own base. It was Metal Sonic pulling the strings the entire time. Like, it's a plot twist like that. Like, we need like actual story that people get invested in, and you want to take the time to complete it, and not just like just a 6 hour just lost to win.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
Okay. Back on to the gameplay side of things.
Actually, but when you get done with this, I'm gonna end it off.
Yeah. Okay. Closing off, I just want to say, like, talking about the gameplay, I honestly, and I may be alone on this, I don't know who's on my side with this, but I feel like they haven't perfected the Sonic gameplay yet, as far as the 3D is concerned.
That's the boost formula.
Yeah.
Like, no, not even just the boost formula, just the level design in general. Level design in general plays a big part in all Sonic games.
Right.
That's the thing, they hit
it right on the head with Sonic Mania. They hit it right on the head with Sonic Mania. I absolutely love the level design in Sonic Mania. But as far as the 3D gameplay, I don't know. It's just like you're put in a position to where you're going like super fast, everything's going smooth, but then you hit a wall. Like, why does that wall have to be there? Why can't it be like a transition or something like that? So level design definitely plays a part in one, in the immersion in the game, and two, and just the overall, funness of the game. And like, I don't think the 3D Sonic games are there yet.
Yeah, like if you can make a stage, like how there's some city levels, right, where it's like you look at Spangonia from Unleashed, right? If there were maybe 3 or 4 alternate routes you could take in that humongous ass city, because that stage is essentially a big ass city, right? If there was probably like maybe you could take maybe 3 or 4 different like routes, and then each route gives you like a different, like, more rings or more so and so or some shit like that, where it's like, like just fix the gameplay, honestly.
Yeah, I think they got a lot to prove with Forces coming up.
And I think Forces actually is going to be I guess everybody's I want to say breaking point, if that's the right word for this one, because a lot of people have already kind of given up on Sonic.
Right.
Yeah.
Sonic Mania. Sonic Mania was the like glimmer of hope, and like, oh shit, now they put a lot of pressure. They put a lot of pressure on Forces. So I'm telling you, that gimmick, creating your own character, is good and all, but it's like
it ain't shit without the gameplay.
I'm gonna say it ain't shit, big dog, because plenty of games have done it, and like Xenoverse 2.
Xenoverse 2, oh my god.
Come on.
That game started off so good, and it just, over the times, got progressively worse and worse and worse. And
you want to make timeless games, not these so-and-sos. But I think with that being said, we're going to end it off right here. Hope you guys enjoyed the actual live podcast. Actually, it was longer than I intended it to be, but it's totally fine. If you guys are... Yeah, exactly. This is for conversation. If you guys are watching this from the live stream, Thank you so much for coming out. I know it's about to start evening soon for some people. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, definitely be sure to go in the description, follow the actual official Twitter for the Royal Roundtable, just to stay up to date and on everything schedule wise and just announcements and everything like that. Follow everybody on Twitter that's involved in this. Appreciate everybody for coming through.
Yep.
And hit the thumbs up if you're watching this on YouTube. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed 100%. And we will talk to you guys next week. And you know it's really crazy. I actually have the next week's topic.
Go ahead and tell them what we're talking about.
So next week we're talking about, and this is in general, not a specific one. Next week we're talking about mobile games. One, why they're so popular, what's the appeal, and how long will the trend last of mobile gaming. And we can get to the topics about this conversation, obviously.
Yeah, we're gonna get into some
Mikey,
deep topics about that.
Mikey, Kate, go ahead, spam the actual Twitter link in the chat. I'm gonna go end this off. Thank you guys so much for coming out. I already said that again, and that's gonna be it. Bye, love y'all.